name is Forrest. I lead partnerships here at Heard. What is Heard? We're the financial back office for therapists. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day, whether you're a Heard member or just on one of our email lists. Super excited to have Kym and Tal here from Barry's. Kym and I know we're just trading stories about being digital nomads. I was the first time I've met a fellow digital nomad on a webinar, so it was lots of fun. But yeah, really excited for them to present to you all today. I know AI is a very hot topic, and Barry's is truly the experts around it. So I'll pass it off to Kym and let y'all take it from here.
Thank you, Forrest.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kym Tolson. I'm an LCSW. I'm also the clinical consultant for Barry's. And we have Tal here. Tal is one of the co-founders of Barry's. I don't know if you want to say anything, Tal?
Hello, everyone. It's great to have you here. I'm one of the co-founders of Barry's. I just want to say that we really appreciate your work, and our goal is to use AI in order to make your life better. And we're excited for this webinar.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Heard, for inviting us. There's so much to talk about with AI. It was really hard to pare this down to a quick little webinar for you all, but I hope you find this helpful. I'm going to share my screen here. And again, Kym Tolson, clinical consultant at Barry's. I'm also the founder of the Clinical AI Club for therapists to help you learn how to run your practices better with AI. And today we want to talk about, just do a little introduction, and then staying HIPAA compliant with AI, which is super important. We're going to talk about AI for progress notes and treatment plans. We're going to talk about AI-powered productivity, just all the ways you could actually use AI to be more productive in your private practice and in your life even. And then we're going to have a little Q&A to see if you have any questions for us. So why does AI even matter to therapists? It saves time on administrative tasks. It helps us focus more on client care. So if we have systems running in the background that's going to take care of all the back-end stuff, we can really, truly be present with our clients. It helps us improve efficiency and accuracy. If we can get all these back-end systems running just like perfectly, we don't even have to worry about it anymore. We all know, especially if you're in private practice, trying to run the back end of a private practice, an entire business, is awful. It's really hard to manage it all and then still just show up for our clients every day. So AI makes that so much easier for us. It's amazing the innovations that are coming around every single day to help us do this. And lastly, it helps us get our time back. AI speeds everything up. So we can actually leave at 5 or whenever your last client is, and you don't have to like work on the weekends or the evenings trying to catch up with all the admin stuff. And today, we just want to talk about some easy, quick AI solutions for progress notes, treatment plans, social media, and blog posts. I just want to show you a couple like quick ways that you can do this. But first, we have a survey that we want to do. Tal is administering the survey. So if you guys can fill this out. Oh, I can see it. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to see the back end of the survey, but I can see it here. How often do you use AI in your practice? And what are you most interested in learning about? So we'll give it a while. And did we see, I don't know if we see the results coming in or not
Yes.
sure. Can you see it, Tal?
Yes, I can see that. So
okay, I can't see it.
5% have not used AI yet.
Oh, really? Okay. Wow.
Yes. I can see that a lot of people are interested in HIPAA compliant, being HIPAA compliant with AI.
Okay.
And
we're going to talk about that.
AI for productivity. Yeah, great results. And
amazing.
Awesome.
Amazing. Thank you all so much. Okay, so we're going to talk about all of that, which is great. Okay, so staying HIPAA compliant. This is a huge one that comes up all the time. Generally, if you're using AI, your best practices is going to be to use a HIPAA compliant tool. You can see on websites, just even with the EHRs, you can see it talks about HIPAA compliance down at the bottom. If you navigate over to heybarrys.com, you're going to scroll down, you're going to see security certificates, every level of security, HIPAA compliance, we're even compliant in Canada at this point. So you can look and make sure just by looking at a website that they're HIPAA compliant before you're going to use the AI tool. You always want to avoid sharing sensitive client data with non-HIPAA compliant tools. So like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, never share any PHI. If you do, make sure, like I was just saying, that you don't put any PHI in, like personal health information about the client. You always want to get an informed consent for AI use. In Berries, we have an informed consent that you can download. You can give it to your clients to use. You can share it with them. You can share all the ways that you're going to be using AI. You could talk to them about it. You can get their permission. You might have clients that say they don't want to use it. That's okay. You don't have to use it with every client, but almost every client I've ever talked to about it, they're like, yeah, I really don't care as long as it makes your life easier. But that consent piece is really important. You're going to want to make sure the company offers a BAA, so a business associate agreement, meaning that they're going to sign something saying, I'm going to protect any information you share with us. Next, you want to make sure you're training your team. So if you have clinicians under you, if you have virtual assistants, anybody that's working in your business and using AI to work on your business, you want to make sure that they understand HIPAA too, that they're not using ChatGPT to talk about the client that you saw earlier to draft an email response back to them. You want to be really clear about that. And lastly, you want to consult your legislative bodies about AI guidance. So the APA, the ACA, the ASWB, they have all issued statements around ethical guidelines and how you can use AI in your private practice and how you should be using it in your private practice to remain ethical and compliant. So it's really important to like brush up on that stuff before you jump in with it. Now, let's talk about AI for progress notes. Challenges with progress notes. We all know these challenges, right? They're time consuming. Oh, they take forever to write. It makes it really hard, especially when you're like hopping between clients, to stay compliant and consistent in your note quality, basically. If you're like, you got 3 minutes, you're trying to write something real quick and then go into your next client. The next challenge, if you have to wait till the weekend or the end of the day to write your notes, how do you even remember everything that you talked about in the session? I know I can't. After 8 clients, I'm like, was that person talking about their dog or their dad? Like, I can't even remember by the end of the day because I'm so burned out usually from seeing so many clients. And then adhering to the golden thread. That's another key part to documentation, like making sure that the assessment and the diagnosis and the treatment plan and the progress note, that they're all following the same golden thread. They're all talking about the same problem. They're all talking about the same diagnosis. They're all talking about the same treatment plan solution. So it's really hard to do that, especially like in the hustle and bustle of seeing our clients and running our private practice. AI makes that so much easier to do because it keeps track of all of that for you. So that leads me to talking about like AI solutions. You can dictate a session right after you see your client if you want to. You just click a button, you just do a quick voice summary of what happened in the session. You don't even have to think about it again. You hit complete and it writes a note for you. You can record while in session. This is how I use AI in my sessions. Right before I jump in, I click the record button. It records the whole session. It generates a transcript. The AI goes in there. It does its magic with the transcript and turns it into literally a perfect progress note in about less than 30 seconds, and you're done. You double check it for accuracy, you put it in your EHR or whatever, and then you go on to your next client. It's amazing. Text summaries. If you're somebody that's like, I do not want to record, I am not going to record my sessions, I don't want a transcript, anything like that, you can concurrently take notes in a text box, especially in Berries, and a HIPAA compliant text box. And at the end, just click the button. It's going to take that text. It's going to turn that into a perfect progress note. You don't have to think about progress notes anymore. Audit-proof notes. The notes in Berries, I have a note that I gave Berries that is my audit-proof note. It's in there. Literally, if you use my format that's in there and click OK, it's going to turn it into an insurance compliant note every time. And then lastly, Berries has this amazing new addition that we just put in there, and it's AI Assistant. So there is literally now a HIPAA compliant ChatGPT essentially that's inside of Berries. And this thing can look at your progress notes, it can look at your last treatment plan, it can look at your assessment, and you can talk to it about your case. So you can do case conceptualizations, and I'm going to show you a little demonstration about that. But it's incredible. This is next level clinical care using AI in your private practice. Treatment plans. Oh, yes.
So we got a question
Okay.
in Q&A about sharing a template for the consent form. So we will share
Oh,
a template for the consent form after the webinar with the recordings. And feel free to ask any questions in the Q&A. We will cover everything by the end of the webinar.
yes. Thank you for questions. Yes. Yeah, we'll give you that for sure. People ask for that all the time. It's like, how do I write a consent for this? Barry's is a perfect consent. You could pop it right into your like informed consent that you already did. That's what I did. I just integrated it into my intake paperwork. People go through the intake paperwork and they just sign, and rarely do they even have questions about it. So it's really easy to do. So AI for treatment plans, keeping plans personalized and up to date. Does anybody have that problem, right? So you might be really good in the beginning. It's like, okay, I've got this plan. I know the objectives and the goals. And then it's like, how do you keep up with, like, if they've solved objective 1A, they've solved objective, 2B, I've got to alter that. You've got to like constantly be like monitoring your treatment plans in your brain, which takes so much energy. With AI, you don't have to do that anymore. The other thing, aligning with client goals effectively. I don't know, I'm guilty of this. This is probably wrong to admit, but I definitely have written treatment plans without like collaborating all the way with my clients. And the way AI works is it's taking these treatment plans and creating it from your in-session collaboration already. So it already knows what the client's goals are versus like maybe what the clinician's goals might be. And then ensuring that they're specific and measurable. Does anybody ever have that problem? It's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to measure like anxiety improvement for whatever their anxiety is? It takes a lot of brain power to come up with this stuff. And then lastly, of course, writing a treatment plan is so time consuming. I don't know how long you guys have been doing this, but me, it's been a long time. And it started out with handwritten treatment plans. I used to literally have like paper notes. We'd have to do like objectives and all of that. Then it evolved into like those treatment plan workbooks that you would have, and you'd have to go look up the goals and the objectives and all that stuff. You'd have to write them out into your paper charts. And then, Wiley treatment planner, which isn't specific or measurable. They're just like general ideas that you can use. So treatment plans have always been like the bane of my existence, really, even worse than progress notes. Now with AI, what can we do with it? Smart goal tracking and AI updates based on your progress notes, right? So I'm going to show you in a minute, but with Barry's, you have this beautiful progress note that was just written, and now you can generate a beautiful treatment plan that's measurable and specific and perfect based on the note that you just did or the assessment that you just did with the client. And then personalized AI generated templates. So not only is it making it great, it's also personalizing it to the client, because I don't know if any of you have been audited, but when you're audited, one of their big dings is this is not personalized. This is not specific to the client. This is cookie cutter. AI takes all that out. It makes it very specific to the client. Audit compliance, again, if it's doing measurable goals, objectives, it's keeping it with the diagnosis and what you're talking about in the progress note, it's going to be audit compliant for sure. And then lastly, again, we've got this AI assistant that is inside of Barry's that basically you could talk to. It's super smart. It's clinical. It knows everything that you're doing with the client. And you could say, hey, can you take a look at the treatment plan and let me know how they're doing on goal 1A or objective 1A of goal 2 or whatever? And it'll analyze this for you, and it'll literally give you an answer back. It'll say, it looks like they're not making progress because they said this, this, and this. And they'll even give you direct quotes from the session note that you have with the client. This thing is incredible. And it makes us better clinicians to be able to do this, to be able to like really comprehend what this treatment plan is and how they're making progress towards their treatment goals. Yeah. Okay, so now I want to show you a couple different ways to do this. I want to show you Barry's and then just like ChatGPT. ChatGPT, you would never, of course, put any PHI whatsoever. Let me go to this page. Yeah, okay. Automating a progress note with heyberries.com, a treatment plan with heyberries.com. I'm going to show you the clinical assistant really quickly because I know we're short on time. And then I just want to show you ChatGPT too, real quick. If anybody's never used that, ChatGPT is like a free chat bot out there that anybody can have an account with, and you go in and you can chit chat with it about anything you want to talk to it about. It's super smart. So this is Barry's over here. These are not real clients. These are fictional clients: Jane Doe, Minnie Mouse, Lucy Lulu. that I use to like demonstrate barriers to people when we're talking about this. But what I've done for time's sake is I sort of just put together a fake clinical presentation here. So I'm just going to copy this and put it over into berries. So what I want to show you, when you come into berries, and let me show you a Jane Doe here, actually. I'll just show you. If you have clients already in here, you can actually pick the client, and Berries does a super cool thing where it tells you follow up. So it says, hey, from the last session, you might want to follow up with this client based on, you know, the cognitive restructuring techniques that you talked about. Share any observations or patterns from your self-tracking log, like, because that's what we talked about in the last session, that sort of thing. So that's a cool thing. And then it also even summarizes the last session for you, which is amazing. But to show you how to do a progress note, there's 3 ways to do it in Berries. You can use these headphones right here. And if you have headphones in, toggle them on, and it'll pick up both sides of the conversation with the client. You click this, and I can show you a quick demonstration of it. Turn on the audio, you share this, and literally right now it's picking up on my conversation. If Tal and I were talking back and forth with one another and having a clinical conversation, it's going to pick up on both sides. It's going to identify that Tal is the client and that he's having these problems. It's going to make specific quotes on, you know, everything that's going on in his life, that sort of thing. But I'm going to end it for right now because it needs me to go for like, I think it's 3 minutes. It needs me to go, right, Tal? And
1 minute, but yeah, we can.
1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, thank you. And then they also have the smart voice summary where you can click this. And this is where at the end of the session, if you wanted to, you can dictate your session. You can do a real quick voice memo, like client said this, change the Lexapro to 10 milligrams, follow up with psychiatrists. They're having these problems. We talked about cognitive behavioral stuff. Or you can generate from text. And I'm just going to show you that now just for the purposes of this demonstration. I'm copying and pasting this text in here. You can concurrently take notes in this box if you want to while you're in session with your client. And I'm just going to pick Jane again. You could pick your note format here. They have amazing note formats: psychiatry, intake for therapy, psychiatry and therapy, follow-up therapy. For our purposes, I'm going to use the follow-up therapy note, which is just your general progress note. And then literally you click generate note, and I'm going to talk through this. It never takes more than 20, 30, 40 seconds at the most to generate this note. And it's super easy. And when it comes out, I want to show you the awesome note that comes out. It's ready when it's highlighted and the little timer is stopped. You click on it. This is your amazing progress note that just happened from the session you have with the client. It talks about problems we discussed, symptoms, psychotherapeutic interventions that we used in session, which is a tool I particularly love with Berries, because sometimes I don't even realize I'm doing like a psychotherapeutic intervention, and it'll say later in the note, like, oh, you use systematic desensitization to talk about this. And I'm like, oh my God, I did. Wow, I'm a genius. It'll do a mental status exam. It picks up on anything the client says as far as symptoms. It'll then give us an assessment, a plan, treatment progress. It talks about the progress they're making towards treatment, especially this is an ongoing client. This is going to be updating based on how they're doing. And then it gives you a plan to follow up on. And this is like basically a very compliant note that you've got really quickly inside of Berries. It's HIPAA compliant. You don't have to worry about, you know, patient information or anything like that. Now, if you come up here, there's so much you can do in here. I wish we had like all day to talk about this, but you can generate a client email, which actually sends them a summary of your session and any homework assignments that you talked about. And then right here is the treatment plan. And this is like game changer right now. If you click treatment plan right here and you say generate new treatment plan, I'm going to show you. You guys are just going to die when you see this because it's incredible. It's just made my life so much easier. It makes me so happy. Okay, look at this beautiful treatment plan this thing just wrote for us. Stress and anxiety due to workload and caregiving responsibilities. It gave us a diagnosis here. It gave us a goal that's specific, measurable, that the client can actually meet. Objectives for each one. It picked up on a second problem, which was disrupted sleep. that the client's having. It gives us solutions for that too in a treatment plan format. Tension headaches, it even picks up what they mentioned a headache in the clinical note that I popped in there. So it picks up on all of that and makes this amazing treatment plan that you can use with your clients. It even gives a discharge summary. If you decide later, you know, I'm ready to discharge this client, they've already got the criteria in here for a discharge summary that you can copy and paste into your EHR to just do a quick summary of their treatment. And there's lots of tools you can use with this. We've got Magic Edit down here where you can have it rewrite the whole thing if you don't like the output. There's all kinds of ways to change this information. You can even edit real time in here and save it. And literally copy paste this, put it in your EHR, and you've got a perfect treatment plan for your client. So that's that. And just one more cool new addition that we just added in here that I'm so excited about is this diagnosis, the beta feature. How many times have you actually looked through the DSM to try to diagnose your client? I mean, I have a lot. This changes everything with diagnosis. It picks up on like the top 3, 4. This one picked up on 5 different diagnoses with the ICD-10 code that you can use. It gives you the justification as to why that was the diagnosis that they chose. And you can obviously use your clinical judgment with all of this and go back through and see if it's appropriate. So anyway, I could go on and on about berries, but I wanted to give you guys a quick demonstration of that. Now for ChatGPT, I just want to show you another way to use it because you might want to know that too. So we are giving you guys a prompt workbook that I came up with that gives you a bunch of prompts to get you started with just like productivity anyway in private practice. But this prompt, let me copy this. I just want to show you how you do this in ChatGPT. From the workbook I gave you, you can copy this exact same prompt that's in there. And let me make sure I've got all of it copied correctly. And you go to ChatGPT. If you're brand new to this, there's so much you can do in here. But basically, this is the general screen that you're going to see. And you could do this cold without even programming it or anything. You can copy that prompt I gave you. You can put a clinical blurb down in here. And I've altered this blurb to not have any PHI. I don't want it to even resemble a client. So it's a lot more generalized than what you're going to get with something like berries that's very specific to the client and all their details. This is a more generalized type prompt, but it's just saying, you know, create a detailed medically necessary SOAP note that would meet audit standards for behavioral health documentation. And it's got some really specific information in there that I wanted to include in this note that I'm getting ready to do. And then once you put the prompt in there, whoops, then you put your clinical blurb right here and then hit this button right here. And ChatGPT is going to do its thing. It's pretty smart. It pretty much knows what a SOAP note is. It knows what medical necessity means. It's giving all this information here about, it's assuming it was a 53-minute session, which is kind of cool. You know, we all want to do 90837s generally. It's giving a subjective, objective. It's giving the assessment. And it's giving us the plan. So super easy way to do this. And I also put some prompts in your handout that we're going to give you later for a treatment plan. So what you could do later is follow up with those prompts and have it write a treatment plan based on this progress note pretty easily. And with ChatGPT, you would just copy this and take it over to your EHR. And the key to all of this stuff is to always edit, audit. ChatGPT in particular is notorious for hallucinating information. So for ChatGPT, if it doesn't have a blank, if it doesn't have something to put in a blank, like mental status or something, if it doesn't have that information, it's going to make that information up. So it could say that they're depressed. They may not be depressed. So that gets into some ethical areas. If you're not checking this stuff, if you're doing it too quickly, if you're just copying and pasting, you're audited later, you get a court order for records. This could, you know, be brought into a court situation. If you have not edited this and made sure that it's accurate, you could be in trouble, or the client could be in trouble. It could hurt them down the road. So that's just an overview, a demonstration of some of the ways to do progress notes and treatment plans with berries and then with ChatGPT. Are we good, Tal? Do we have any thoughts or?
So we have a lot of questions and I'm trying to cover them by
okay. Okay.
That's why
cool. All right. Okay, I'll come back if you want to ask me some at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. let's talk about AI-powered productivity and more. This is the other stuff, the everything else that it does in your life, and I could probably list 300 things, so I just picked some of the more popular ones that I do inside of my clinical AI club with therapists. Client homework creation, right? So you can do very specific homework around a client's really detailed thing. You could say, I want you to create an evidence-based worksheet that's going to help this client make progress with this treatment goal. Like you can literally drop that into ChatGPT or Barry's AI assistant. It's going to make it for you too. And you can even be more specific so you don't have to worry about HIPAA. Website copy updates. You can literally take the link from your website, pop it into ChatGPT and say, improve this. It sucks. I'm not getting any conversion. And it's going to tell you 1,000 ways to improve your website copy. Newsletter drafting. You can easily write emails to people on your wait list or people that are just, signing up for your newsletter using ChatGPT. You can create lead magnets. I help other therapists build other income streams. And one thing I always say is if you've got a niche, you need to have a course on your website or a freebie on your website that people can download and get quick value from, because that's going to help them want to work with you later. ChatGPT can do that for you in about like 5 seconds. It's a really good way to get more clients in the door. Video scripts for reels and captions. I use ChatGPT for all of my social media stuff. I've got it programmed to know me really well. And I just say like, hey, I want to do a reel on this. Give me a script. And it'll give me a 30-second script. And I just go read it into my camera and pop it on my Instagram. And it's amazing. SEO optimization for blog posts. So you can have it help you research SEO keywords and that sort of thing to make your SEO have more reach on your website. Client onboarding emails. You can do a whole onboarding sequence to help, acclimate your client to the therapy process so you don't have to answer all those FAQs that you're always answering when you get a new client into your practice. And these are just a few. There's like 1,000 different ways to use it in our private practices. So let's just talk about AI and social media content. Common social media challenges, you guys have probably experienced this, inconsistent posting or content gaps, right? It's like, I don't know, I'm exhausted already. How am I supposed to remember to be consistent on Instagram? AI really can help with that. Struggling to come up with fresh or relevant ideas, like stuff maybe you haven't thought of, angles you haven't thought of. AI can help with that. It's super time consuming trying to think of content, create content, schedule content, and then follow up on the people that are following up on your content. Like it's a whole thing. AI can really help automate that process. I'm going to tell you a couple ways how in a minute. Tools that you can use: ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. There's lots of different ones out there, and people will swear by one or the other. I'm a ChatGPT person, but there's lots of different ways to do it. Canva Magic. Canva is like $200 a year for the pro version. It's basically turns you into a graphic designer. They've released a whole AI suite in the last month and a half that is amazing. You type in a prompt, it's going to create the graphic for you already. You don't even have to be a designer at all. It's going to come up with it for you already. Metricool or repurpose.io. I use this for my own stuff. I post it once on Instagram, and these tools basically redistribute it across all social media channels. So it goes to TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, anywhere that you want to be seen. You can do that through repurpose.io. So you're not having to go post all over the place. And they've got amazing AI tools inside of there too. Midjourney, Kling.ai. You can put your own likeness into Kling and it'll make short 10-second reels and videos of yourself that you can put on social media. It looks just like you. I've got some on my Instagram that I get more engagement on those than my real face. So I don't know what that says about me, but it's pretty amazing. Ways to do it. It can help you with caption and hashtag generation. It can help you with content batching and repurposing of ideas that you've already done before. It can help with graphic creation. ChatGPT is so good now. You just tell it what you want it to draw, and it's going to draw it for you right inside of ChatGPT. It can help you with branding, coming up with branding colors and ideas for logos. It can help you generate content ideas, batch write posts. If it's like, hey, this post did really well, can you do like 10 more versions of this so I can repost it in different places? Design visuals. It's great for pre-scheduling or repurposing content. It helps you come up with content calendars. It's amazing everything you can do, really. Let's see. I think we get short on time. I don't want to go too far over. The next thing you could do, AI for blog writing. If you've got a website, you've got to have some sort of blog on your website. And the reasons why is it builds credibility to attract clients to your website, right? If they search a term and they find you and you look like the expert for that, they're probably going to want to work with you in some capacity. Even if you have a digital course they can download about your expertise. You can educate your audience on mental health topics. Just if you're super passionate about helping educate people, blog posts are great for that. And then the biggest thing is really SEO reach. So how do you crawl up in the Google rankings, right? That's blog posts, smart SEO choices. Doing all that and keeping it on your website is going to like have you come up in the Google rankings. And honestly, now, if you go into ChatGPT and search for a therapist, you're coming up on ChatGPT now. The search engine optimization inside of there is incredible. And I think 130 million people a day are landing on ChatGPT. So all of that is because of SEO and blog posts and that sort of thing. Now, AI for blogging. It helps you generate blog ideas and outlines. It helps you automate publishing. And I'll tell you how you can do that in a second. It helps with optimizing content for your SEO. So you could say like, hey, this is the topic I want to talk about. This is my personality. I want it to be really like who I am as a person, but I also need it to be optimized for SEO. It's going to go out. It's going to search the internet. It's going to look at the top 5 rankings and it's going to say, maybe you should use these keywords, and it's going to help you do that. So tools for that, ChatGPT for content creation, editing, strategic keyword stuffing, which isn't really recommended that much anymore, but you can do it. Moz.com, they have amazing AI tools for SEO and blogging. Professional AI marketing firms like Moonraker.ai. I use them for marketing. They have a ton of AI tools that help with SEO. And then something like this WP Autoblog. If you have a WordPress site, you can literally go into this thing and tell it what you want to talk about, and it's going to generate 50 SEO enhanced blog posts for you in about 3 seconds that you can then decide if you want to put it on your WordPress site, and it automatically uploads it for you. I've used this on a couple of my websites too. Okay. Well, we're almost there. All right, so I just want to show you a quick demo for a blog post. I put a prompt in your workbook that we're going to give you guys, and I'm just going to go down here and copy that prompt so I have it and just show you how amazing ChatGPT is just with this simple prompt for writing blog posts. Let me go back over here and start a new thread. Now I'm just going to pop this in here. I've left places where you can fill in the blanks for these prompts. So I'm just going to take this out and we're going to say, we want to talk about setting boundaries without guilt, just something I always work on. And we're going to do it for high achieving people. It says insert ideal audience. We're just going to do high achieving people. Okay. And it's that simple. This is a really good prompt for starting out with blog posts with ChatGPT. You hit enter and watch it do its magic. And it knows I'm Kym. So it's saying, absolutely, Kym, let's draft that blog post. And as you can see here, I told it to be personalized and make it sound like a human wrote it, not use robotic language. So it's working right now. It's probably pretty good. I've trained this thing pretty well, and that prompt is excellent. So if you use it, you'll probably get a good output too, but you can almost copy and paste this over to your blog, edit it a little bit for your own personalized voice, make sure it sounds like you, and you're done. And take out any of these, like these are called M dashes. This is a dead giveaway that ChatGPT wrote it. So take out these M dashes, make sure you take those out. Any words like game changer, that sort of thing, you want to take those out. But basically we have an excellent post here with headers. Headers are good for SEO. You want to make sure you have all of this. It's perfect. Take it over, edit a little bit, and you're done. That easy. Yeah. So I hope you found that helpful. And then let's see, what do we want to talk about? Next steps. Okay, so now let's talk about all the goodies we have for you guys. We have a coupon for berries. We want to give you a coupon for $50 off for your first month of berries. We're definitely going to give you that downloadable AI prompts template and templates that we give you for all the prompts that I just showed you. I think I put like 20 or 30 in there that you can use for blogging, treatment plans, progress notes. And then we want to have a live Q&A. So we want to ask you guys if you have any questions for us. It looks like there's a lot of comments coming in. And then lastly, reach out to Tal. He's amazing at heyberries.com. He'll walk you through berries. He'll help you do anything that you want to do in there. And let me go to this screen and say we even created a code for you all that are here through Herd, and it's Herd50 at heyberries.com. If you enter that in, that's when you're going to get that $50 off discounts with your first month with berries. What else should we say about berries? Oh, you get 20 sessions free. You don't even have to put a credit card in. If you want to just go try it out and play around, you don't even have to put your information in. Yeah. So I highly recommend it. I love berries, and thank you for letting me be here to talk to you about all the ways AI can help you in your private practice.
Kym, you are amazing, and it gave me
Thank you, Ta.
a lot of value too. I guess
Thank you.
time to answer some of the questions. So before we dive into specific questions, I want to share some things that have been asked many times.
Okay.
So first of all, we'll send the recording after the webinar with some resources and the consent as well. We forgot to put it in the slides, but we will send it to you. It's super important. We got a lot of questions about security. So this is one of the most important things. So I want to share a bit more. Berries doesn't store the recordings at all. So if you do a live session, Berries will generate the note right after the session and will delete the recording. Also, notes in Berries can be set to delete automatically after 30 days, or you can delete them manually, whatever you want. Also, everything is encrypted in transit and in rest, which is super important. And we don't use any PHI to train our AI models. This is super important. And lastly, anyone who signs up to Berries is covered under our BAA. We did it very simple, so it's part of our terms of service. You don't need to worry about that. So that's regarding security and privacy, which is really, really important. Another thing that I saw a lot in the Q&A is about personalizing the note and making sure that it's the right template for you. So we have the personalized format feature in Berries, and basically it will create. You'll be able to create your own format, and Berries will follow it, so you get the perfect note for you. And I think I covered all the general ones. And maybe we can dive into, we can pick like 5, maybe.
Do you want me to open up the Q&A and see if I
feel free.
can answer a few?
Feel free. Also, we try to answer a lot of the questions by typing.
Oh, okay.
So you can see if we answered by typing, and we'll do our best to answer the most common ones, because we don't want to waste your time here.
Okay, yeah. My concern with AI is I work with high-risk clients, meaning talking about suicidality, common topics. I don't want AI to freak out and alert someone automatically, would be unnecessary. How does AI manage risk factors among client documentation? A great question. Tal probably can talk about the security a little even more around that. Basically, nobody's seeing this. The AI is not monitoring this in the background. They're not flagging it for red flags or anything like that. It's not how it functions. It only interacts when you give it permission to interact. So if you're clicking a button that says, now I want you to process this, or, turn this into a treatment plan, it's going to do it then, but it's not going to like, intervene and say, whoa, this is too much. Now, ChatGPT is different. If you're using that, if you put any kind of like trauma, abuse, anything around that, which I'm a EMDR therapist, I work with trauma. So I did find that was a problem with trying to make notes in ChatGPT, even without PHI. Anything like that, they're going to flag. They're going to say it's inappropriate, and they can even shut your account down if you're putting any kind of information in there like that inside of ChatGPT, because it doesn't want the liability, basically. But that's not the case with berries. Was there anything else about that, Tal? I
think that's great. Also, a lot of people asked about the language. So berries can generate notes from Spanish sessions, Chinese, French, Portuguese, and a lot more. And the notes are being generated in English. That's important. Also, regarding the settings, Berries works with every setting. Basically, if it's telehealth, with headphones, without headphones, in person, phones, or desktop, and someone asked what's the
Yes.
best way to use it. So we recommend using it through the computer, through the Chrome browser. That would be best.
Mhm.
What else do we have here?
This one about mention not using ChatGPT to respond to emails from a client. What if there's no name or other directly identifying information? Yeah, I mean, if it's super general and there's nothing like, hey, it's, their name or anything like that. Yeah, you could put in even the general context of it and say, they want to know about resources in Ecuador or something. Like you could put that in and have it create a beautiful email right from there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Also, people asked about part-time pricing. So we do have discount for part-times and also for teams for big for group practices. Another thing that I saw that is quick. So we don't have a direct integration with the EHRs yet. We are working on it.
Yes.
What most of our clinicians do right now is that they use the copy note feature, and in 2 clicks they copy the note from Berries and paste it into the EMR. It's pretty simple. Let's see.
Trish asked, does it address medical necessity? Absolutely, it does. It's trained. Basically, the treatment plans, we worked hard on that, didn't we, Tal, to make sure that it met medical necessity with making it measurable, specific, and all of that. And then as I said before, I actually gave a note to Barry, so you can turn it on inside of Barry's. If you type Kym Tolson, confetti falls in the screen, and it's audit compliant. I've passed audits with that note. So if you have that turned on when you're recording your session, it's going to fill in all the blanks, and it's going to meet medical necessity. And then the fact that it's the assessment, the treatment plan, the progress note, the diagnosis, all follows that golden thread. That's what helps it meet medical necessity as well. So yeah.
Amazing. So I think that maybe we got a lot of questions and we don't want to waste everybody's time. So feel free to reach out to us. We are very responsible and we will respond right away and make sure you get the answer. Kym, I want to say one thing before you close up. So we started Berries because we think that your work is among the most important in the world, and we really believe in what you do, helping people be happy and live life. So if we can support you in the smallest thing, that's why we are here. And thank you so much for coming here today. And feel
Thank
free
you.
to reach out to us anytime.
Yeah. Thanks for allowing me to share with you all.
Awesome. So we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.